politics an afterthought this summer? No way, not here in Massachusetts. Will we see fireworks this summer from the candidates running for governor? Because right now, a lot of people say it's just a snooze fest. They do. They say that who are these candidates? And they're not even making news. This is Boston University political historian Tom Whalen. Why do you think that we're not even talking about these candidates? To them, I'm sure they think everybody's talking about them. But the reality is there's no buzz out there.
There certainly doesn't seem to be that. And also the Bruins are out of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I think people now can pay more attention, particularly now with the Red Sox out of the pennant race. Because, you know, really at the beginning of the summer, everyone's talking Red Sox, Red Sox, Red Sox. But now we have a new sport, and it's politics. And that's always been the major sport here in Boston.
I
think we will.
All right, so let's talk about the governor's race. Another poll came out closing the gap between Martha Coakley and Charlie Baker. That tells you what?
Martha Coakley is in trouble. That, you know, the base of the party in particular, and just independents, more importantly, are just not liking what they see from her. That, you know, I think it's the same problem she had in the Senate race against Scott Brown. She is not connecting, and she does not seem to have the core issues. She always seems to play it safe, but no one really knows, like, what side of the issues, important issues, that she's on. She's all over the map.
Do you think Charlie Baker's connecting?
I think he is, particularly with independents. And, you know, he's had a pretty good month when you think about it, particularly his comments on the DCF and so forth, how he's going to bring fiscal responsibility to the state. And I think that's resonating now because the budget is not in exactly good situation. The whole gambling question is also putting everything in flux because built into the budget is about $100 billion anticipated from casinos being built here in Massachusetts. Now that might not happen thanks to the ballot question that's in the works.
Well, you're right. So there's definitely a lot of decent issues to talk about for them to weigh in. But I ask you again, it doesn't seem to be that anybody's truly making news on any of these issues.
Right, because it's appears to be the dull leading the dull here. I mean, there's no like standout here, though that might change. I think particularly after the Democratic convention, state convention. For example, if Juliette Kayyem gets 15% of the vote, she is a terrific speaker and she has charisma. She might really kind of shake things up in the race.
Well, let's go back to that because back in January, you told us here at Fox 25, she's the one to watch. But I'm wondering if we went out and interviewed 100 people, how many would really know who she is?
Right, and it's still so early right now. But if she gets that, you know, on ballot thing, she will be on every major television station, radio station. She can spend some money. She has done some good fundraising. She can appear in ads. People will begin to connect with her. And once they do, watch out because, you know, what she has to say, it's fairly interesting. And she's willing to stick her neck out on issues.
So you're digging your heels in on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, she is definitely the dark horse candidate here that can really make a difference.
And we've seen that happen before. In Massachusetts, absolutely.
And if that's the case, Charlie Baker is crying because, you know, he's prepared everything for Martha Coakley. And if Juliette Kayyem gets in there, then he has to rip up that game plan and start anew. And that's very difficult.
It's funny because you said it's the dull leading the dull, and then you say that she has this spark. Imagine if we could meld all of these candidates together, and then what would you have? The perfect candidate?
The perfect candidate, I think so.
And what about Steve Grossman?
Well, I think Steve Grossman is going to play a major role here. He's going to come out of the Democratic convention with the most delegates here, and he'll have a nice bump. Also, he's a prodigious fundraiser, and he can bring in the Clintons, which basically are still very popular here in Massachusetts to campaign for him. So he's someone not to be overlooked here.
Tom Whalen, political historian from Boston University. So summertime doesn't mean politics sleeps here in Massachusetts.
Not at all.
Not at all. All right. Thank you very much. We always appreciate it.